Tonight at 9, a judge blocked the Trump administration's plan to freeze federal aid. Find out what funds the administration was attempting to block.
And how one Ball State club is bringing the laughs to the gloomy winter months. See how comedy is being spread on campus.
Temps finally begin to rise off the single digits. For now, see the changes in the temperatures and how they're affecting those on campus.
And a new federal order signed into effect. Find out what it changes for teens in America.
And I'll be tracking a warm week ahead. NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening and thanks for being with us. I'm Demar Robinson.
And I'm Braylon Judy.
We start tonight with breaking news. President Donald Trump has just signed an executive order that halts all federal support for gender transitions for people under the age of 19. According to the Associated Press, the order dictates that the U.S. will not fund, sponsor, promote, assist, or support gender-affirming care for the LGBTQ+ youth. The order also tells federally funded insurance programs like Medicaid to stop covering such care. According to AP, this order is likely to be challenged in court, like many of his other policies.
And just a few hours ago, a federal judge put a temporary block on part of the Trump administration's freeze on federal aid. The short-term pause prevents the administration from its plans to freeze funds already approved by the government. Trump's order aimed to target programs addressed in President Trump's recent executive orders. The administration says that includes funds for immigration, foreign aid, and climate programs. Social Security, Medicare benefits, and assistance provided directly to individuals would not be impacted. That means financial aid for students will go unaffected.
President Donald Trump has also called on the heads of federal departments and agencies to bring their workers back to the office full time. Amazon, JP Morgan Chase, and UPS are among the companies that have already ordered employees to be in the office 5 days a week. And other companies are starting to tip the scales on hybrid work. These are challenges for both employees and employers, and questions both sides need to ask and answer. Sarah Perry, a professor of management at Baylor University, says employees should inquire about any new lines between time on and time off.
Employees should trigger these conversations so that they are had. What are the expectations now as a team, as coworkers? Are we going to respond to emails at night? Are we going to try to maybe build better boundaries back in?
The Pew Research Center recently found the number of employees expected in the office at certain number of days per week or month has grown since early 2023, while a majority of workers surveyed still prefer a hybrid arrangement.
Comedy, chaos, and everything in between, Ball State's improv troupe is proving that laughter really is the best major. NewsLink's Mira Bloomer has the story.
For members of Abso Lunacy, also known as Abso Improv Comedy, saying yes and to new opportunities has shaped more than just their comedy. It's shaped their college experience. Co-presidents Cosmas Boyambach and Cheyenne Mitchell are leading the troupe into another successful year.
Times it's running the practices, but also behind the scenes, creating our games list, creating the warm-ups for practice, like what we want to focus on that week.
Specializing in both short and long-form comedy, Abso Lunacy isn't just about performances. It's about creating a space for self-expression, with games like One Word at a Time and The Accepting Circle, helping members develop confidence and creativity.
It changes how you interact outside of just Abso. So you're more comfortable in social atmospheres. You're more comfortable just being yourself and just being wacky, weird, goofy. Just being yourself.
With awards like Best Improv Troupe 2023 and Most Engaging Social Media 2024, Abso Lunacy has also performed across the Midwest, spreading their unique humor far and wide.
We do reunion shows, festivals, we travel. It's just a lot of great opportunities to just meet a lot of new people from different fields and just making new friends.
Whether it's through their workshops or performances, Abso Lunacy continues to inspire students to step outside of their comfort zones.
When I joined Abso and I finally found people that I can have fun with, perform with, get me out of my comfort zone, but also bond with and just have a family kind of experience with, it just changed my whole experience here.
From campus stages to regional festivals, Absolunacy is spreading laughter and creating lasting memories. In Muncie, Mira Bloomer, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information on Absolunacy and their upcoming events, visit Abso Improv Comedy on social media.
After the sub-zero temperatures that afflicted the Muncie area last week, Muncie residents are looking forward to the rise in temperatures throughout this week. These rising temps are leading to what many call a fool's spring. NewsLink Indiana's Eli Grasham has the story.
Temperatures are rising all the way to the 50s this week, which is leading many to refer to this sudden rise of temperatures as a fool's spring. The term fool's spring finds its roots in gardening. Associate Professor of Geography and Meteorology, Nathan Hitchens, explains the meaning of this term.
The fool's spring seems to be the idea of you get a nice warm up, but you shouldn't necessarily switch into spring mode quite yet, because you could still very easily have another cool down.
In the interview, Hitchens explains the possible reason for abnormal changes in temperature, much like the ones that affected the Muncie area over the past several weeks.
Things that occurred less frequently in the past may occur more frequently in the future based upon some of the effects of climate change.
Lauren Johnson, a Ball State tour guide, spoke about how last week's cold temperatures affected the tour guides.
The temperature is definitely very brutal. The wind here is also brutal.
Johnson says that she and her coworkers look forward to the rising temperatures, hoping it will lead to more prospective students to visit the Ball State campus. With temperatures over the coming weeks returning to normal, don't let this spring make a fool of you. In Muncie, Eli Grasham, NewsLink, Indiana.
With temperatures feeling warmer, many are looking forward to what the temperatures will be in the next coming days.
NewsLink Indiana's Noah Gordon might have more to say on the topic. Noah?
Yeah, guys, and with the sun we saw today, you might as well have thought it was spring, and it's still quite warm out there considering what we've seen over the past few weeks here. We've got 42 in Portland, 41 in Muncie right now, right about at 9 o'clock. If you look at the last 24 hours, almost all of central Indiana has warmed up 8, 9, 10 degrees in several different areas. So we're feeling much warmer than we have been in quite a while across our region. But here's the things I'm watching tonight in my full forecast. We've got a windy Wednesday ahead, above average temperatures through the end of the week. With those warmer temperatures comes the chance of rain Friday. I'll have all that and more in my full forecast later in the show.
After the break, President Trump has signed a new executive order. Find out what it is and who will be affected.
And egg prices are expected to keep increasing. Find out how much and why.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
One scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
I'm relying on luck.
But who knows if it'll be on my side.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when. Take control. 1. Assess your needs. 2. Make a plan. 3. Engage your support network. Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell.
Welcome back. Employees at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention have been told to stop communicating with the World Health Organization. This decision comes from Trump's January 20th executive order withdrawing the U.S. from the HWO. The order says it's because of the organization's mishandling of the COVID-19 crisis. The withdrawal worries some as the U.S. is one of WHO's biggest funders, and a lack of coordination on international public health could be dangerous. Federal law requires 1 year of notice before eliminating U.S. support for the WHO. Trump's order claims legal notice was given during his first term in 2020, so withdrawal can happen immediately.
A metamorphical warning coming in from the bulletin board of atomic scientists. Today, they set the Doomsday clock at 89 seconds to midnight, the closest it's ever been to that marker. The Doomsday clock was created by Albert Einstein and Robert Oppenheimer in 1947 as a symbolic attempt to gauge how close humanity is to destroying the world. Now, it's not meant to definitively measure global threats, but to spark discussion about difficult scientific topics like climate change. Midnight is the moment at which humans will have made the Earth uninhabitable.
In setting the clock closer to midnight, we send a stark signal. Because the world is already perilously close to the precipice, any move towards midnight should be taken as an indication of extreme danger and an unmistakable warning.
If the clock ever hit midnight, we would not know it. That would mean humanity had been wiped out by some sort of nuclear exchange or catastrophic climate change.
Sorry, egg lovers. You can expect to continue to pay high prices for the breakfast staple. A price outlook from the USDA estimates egg prices will increase about 20% this year. That is compared to about 2.2% for food prices in general. Government data shows the average price of a dozen eggs was $4.15 last month. According to the Consumer Price Index, that is about a 36% increase from last December. The high price is being driven by the ongoing bird flu outbreak as well as inflation.
Kansas is facing the largest recorded tuberculosis outbreak in the U.S. since the 1950s. According to the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, 67 active cases of the disease have been reported in Wyandotte and Johnson counties since January 2024. That's the Kansas City, Kansas metro area. 2 deaths have been linked to the outbreak. The health department says there can be more cases, and they are following CDC guidance. Despite the outbreak, the risk of the disease being transmitted is low. Symptoms include persistent cough and fever, fatigue, and body aches. If you think you may have tuberculosis, talk to your doctor about getting tested.
Ozempic, the drug designed to treat diabetes, has been approved to treat kidney disease. The drug maker Novo Nordisk announced the approval from the FDA today. A clinical trial found that injections of the medication reduced the risk of kidney disease getting worse. It also lowered the risk of kidney failure and cut the risk of death from heart disease. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about a third of adults with diabetes also have chronic kidney disease.
Tracking rain chances at the end of the week. I'll have the full details coming up after the break.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. It has been a warm and windy 48 hours here across east central Indiana, and that's partially due to the competing weather systems we see across the eastern United States. First up is this low pressure system currently located over the Great Lakes, bringing snow to parts of Ontario. Meanwhile, we have high pressure in the southeast of the United States, bringing cloud-free skies to most of the southern states. Now, what this does for us here in east central Indiana is it kind of sandwiches us between those two, bringing those gusty and blustery conditions we've seen over the past 2 days. Now, outside though, it's not all bad with that wind because we're seeing much more mild conditions even overnight. We see 41 here in Muncie, 40 in Indianapolis, Evansville 45, the warm spot down in southern Indiana. Now, it's been a week of differences, and you might think to yourself, well, 40 degrees isn't that warm, but compared to what we saw last week, at this time, 8 degrees with below zero wind chills a week ago tonight. Meanwhile, today, 44 degrees with abundant sunshine throughout the day, so it feels practically tropical here in late January in east central Indiana, and we've really looked forward to that sunshine. We haven't had a lot of it here in January. Now, tonight, if you're headed out anywhere, 33 degrees with a low of 33 degrees, mostly clear skies. Those winds still going to be a factor west out of 15 miles an hour, gusting up to about 25 miles an hour, and those winds are going to stick with us throughout tomorrow, at least the first half of the day here. We see the gusts peaking from 20 to 25 miles an hour out of the northwest, right around that lunchtime hour before they taper off into Wednesday afternoon. Now, if you're headed out anywhere tomorrow, it's going to be another sunshine-filled day across our region with a high of 41 degrees. Like I mentioned, those winds still playing a factor, especially in that first half of our day. Now, if we look at the temperature trend over the next 5 days here, we see pretty much, except for one outlier, we're warming up quite quickly across our region. 41 on Wednesday, 43 on Thursday, 48 on Friday, down to 34 on Saturday, and then 50 degrees on Sunday. We haven't seen 50 degrees here in east central Indiana in quite a while. But you're probably thinking to yourself, 34 degrees on Saturday. Now, that doesn't really make sense. Well, that's actually when we're going to see our next cold front move through the region here. We see late Thursday, rain moving through the region, clearing out by the time we get to the end of the day Friday, and we're just replaced with a cloudy and sort of dreary look for your first half of your weekend. Now, we take a look at our 7-day forecast here. We see nothing but sunny skies and sunshine. 41 degrees tomorrow, like I mentioned, those breezy conditions. 43 on Thursday, up to 48 on Friday. 70% chance of rain might spoil some of those warm temperatures as that cold front moves through, down to 34 on Saturday. But then we rebound really quickly, 50 degrees on Sunday, before we go back to more about average temperatures. 39 on Monday, 32 on Tuesday. And honestly, guys, while we keep thinking 30s and 40s, that's nothing compared to the single digits we saw last week. So it's feeling pretty great outside, even though it's been kind of cold.
I think last week it was treacherous to even go outside. I didn't want to go outside. It was so nippy. But now, even though it is still pretty cold, 48 isn't that that warm. Yeah. It's so great to see the sun outside.
Mm-hmm.
It's so great to kind of feel the rays of the sun and feel a little bit of warm and wear a nice sweater.
Yeah, and I can't remember how many people we were talking to today that just enjoyed seeing that sun for once.
Thank you, Noah. Thank you. There's a lot more to get into on NewsLink Indiana. Jace Miller has a preview of sports.
Thanks, Damar. Cardinal sports are taking flight and success is being recognized. All this and more next in sports.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Jason,
Let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jace Miller with sports. Men's volleyball is in the midst of their season and off to a solid start. NewsLink Indiana's Stephen Grata has more.
When it comes to volleyball, the 8th-ranked Ball State Cardinals often thrive as a cohesive unit. However, this past Friday, 2 Cardinals stood out from the flock. Junior outside hitter Patrick Rogers and senior outside hitter Tinashe Ndavazucheva led the Cardinals to sweep the Maryville Saints in straight sets on Friday. Rogers had 9 kills as well as 6 digs to cap off his dominant performance from Friday. On top of Rogers' starting role for the Cardinals, he is on the National Collegiate Volleyball team for the USA.
It's awesome. It's such a good honor, and I'm blessed to be in that position. And yeah, I mean, I love to do it, so it's fun for me.
A perfect complement to Rogers' performance was the performance of Tinashe, Mr. T, and Ndavazucheva. The outside hitters shine in this matchup in more ways than one, tying his season high of 14 kills in just 3 sets, as well as an impressive 4 aces. Mr. T continues his incredible senior season.
So there was an opportunity for us to let off a little bit, but that was my focus of not doing that, not playing according to their standards and just playing our volleyball.
9 aces and 55 kills so far this season is an impressive resume, but keeping the Cardinals' current 2-game win streak alive is the rising seniors' priority.
You know, the good thing about the winning streak is once you start the 3-0, your team is already down to that 3-0. So whenever we have an opportunity, whenever we feel we can sweep a team, that's gonna do it.
In Muncie, Stephen Grata, NewsLink, Indiana.
To switch nets, Ball State women's basketball star Allie Becky continues to rack up the awards. This time, the award for Allie Buckets is the MAC Player of the Week, highlighted by her 20-point performance against NIU and a field goal percentage of 79 against Toledo. Becky claimed the award for the 9th time in her career. Across the 2 victories, Indiana native averaged an eye-popping 23 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 7 assists per game while going 100% from the charity stripe. Behind Becky's strong performances, the Cardinals continued to extend their win streak to 10 games and set at 16-4 overall with a perfect 8-0 record in MAC play. This past weekend, Ball State Gymnastics took part in the Ball State Tri-Meet. NewsLink Indiana's Xavier Harris has more.
This past Sunday, Ball State Gymnastics took part in the Ball State Tri-Event, where the team posted their highest score of the season of 195.500. The team soared past Western Michigan with a point differential of 0.875 and a 22.45 win differential over Wilberforce University. Leading that charge was Zoe Middleton. Middleton was able to put a season-best all-around score of 38.925, good enough to grab her first all-around championship of the season while earning a floor title. Middleton has been a huge contributor to the team this season as well as last. High score numbers are familiar territory for Middleton. Last season, Middleton led Ball State with 41 scores of 9.800 or better on the year, earning 11 individual event wins and 6 all-around titles. What helps Middleton is carrying a worry-free mindset into each match.
I've already done everything in practice. There's literally nothing else I can do, so now I can just enjoy it and have fun with the sport.
Head coach Salim attributes Middleton's success to her confidence and resilience.
She is able to come in and engage with the team and engage with the practices and the workouts without it being stressful for her. So I love watching that, because the more she gets comfortable in that space, then the better she does out here on the competition court.
Middleton's team-oriented approach has helped her throughout her meets.
You know, women's sports here at Ball State has been thriving recently, especially with Allie Becky. You know, coming out of Brownsburg, Indiana, she's won a state title. We're hoping she brings home a MAC title here to us.
We're gonna be dancing soon, less than 2 months, and I really hope she's leading the charts to our dancing. Our little Fiesta dancing. Sharpen it up. I can't wait for March.
Oh yes.
Thank you, Jace. Thank you, Jace. 2025 Miss Unity was crowned at the Black Student Association Unity Pageant. Find out more about the crowned student.
And one final look at weather.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. My name is Daniel Huber, and this is your campus coverage. The Black Student Association's 56th Unity Pageant was held in Bruce Hall Sunday. It was a display of fashion, talent, and community service for Ball State's Black community. The 2025 Miss Unity crown went to junior biochemistry and pre-med student Josiah Scaife. She says that it doesn't take much to reach your dreams.
Just knowing that you have a good heart and that you actually want to believe and do it and achieve what you want to do, that's the most you ever need. And you can do anything you set your mind to, because the sky is the limit.
Also says her fellow contestants, junior Ania Rice and sophomore Ayana McKee, are practically her sisters. The event organizers, Aaliyah Davis, has been working on the pageant since May. She says while it is a lot of work, it is all worth it.
Miss Unity pageant means to me like showing the grace and companionship that this community will always need and dedicate their life to.
On the Black Student Association's next event, visit their Instagram at ballstate_BSA.
I absolutely love the part about the fellow contestants and that sisterhood. I love that.
Oh,
I love that.
I mean, you sensed it everywhere, not only in the contestants, but in the crowd as well. And the women, they were just fantastic, incredibly talented. I mean, what more can I say?
And that's the thing I love about Ball State. It's just such a great community.
Yeah. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you.
Thank you.
And here is your now final look at weather.
Yeah, guys, we are finally out of the freezer here after about 2 weeks in Muncie. Temperatures back into those lower to mid 40s. 41 on Wednesday, 43 on Thursday, 48 on Friday with the rain, 34 on Saturday, 50 on Sunday. The last time we saw a 50-degree high here in Muncie, all the way back December 29th. So it's been almost a month since we've seen temperatures that warm before we back down into the 30s into next week.
Thank you, Noah. And that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page and YouTube channel.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.